pretty good night's sleep last night. I was able to stretch out my legs, which was nice. It was kind of a luxury. But there's a lot of blue sky out there. There are some clouds, but there's a lot of blue sky, which means there's a pretty good chance I might get some reflected light. So I'm heading over to where I found that tree yesterday, and I'm gonna see if I can set up a composition and see if I can find something I like for doing that. Because if I get some light, if I find myself a composition, then I might be able to expose some film. So keep my fingers crossed and we'll see what happens. All right, so that right there, that's the tree. And initially I was thinking about getting closer to that tree, maybe using a normal lens. And I tried going up there, but that area is really, really fragile. There's a lot of cryptobiotic soil. It's really loose soil. And so it's gonna make a big impact if I'm walking around up there, and I really don't wanna do that. Plus, in all honesty, I'm really close to the parking lot right now, and I don't want people to see me up in an area like that, because then they too might go up to those areas. And it doesn't take a lot of people to really destroy these areas. So I went back down here to the wash, and I have my camera with my 600mm lens set up, trying to take sort of a longer shot, which I actually kind of like the fact that I can get the tree within the context. But my lens isn't quite long enough to get the ideal composition that I really want. Ideally, I don't want to have that ledge right there, and I don't want to have the white sandstone up there. I want to shoot just in between the two of those. But my 600mm lens is not quite long enough to do that. So I could either get a little bit of the ledge down here and crop it out afterwards, or aim a little bit higher and get kind of that as the bottom area, go up a little bit into the white but not hit that area. And I think that's what I might end up doing. But I still got a lot of time to kind of play with the composition and kind of see if I can make it exactly the way I want it to be. The light source, and this is gonna be blown out, but the light source is gonna be not only this area right here, which is, there's actually a cliff there, even though it's kind of in full sunlight, but also this right here. When the sun hits this, the light is gonna bounce behind me back into the shadows over here, and that tree will get some really nice warm light. Right now the skies are completely blue, which is great for reflected light. I just gotta wait around a little bit until my light comes in. I say I probably got about 20-30 minutes. One thing I'm surprised at though, I'm the only one here. I mean, it's quite a ways after sunrise. If this was many other national parks, there'd be people already at the parking lot hiking in. I'm still the only one here, so that's Capitol Reef for you. So I just made my exposure of the scene. It was 5 seconds at f/45. That counts for a little bit of reciprocity failure. It's kind of a soft reflected light. It's not like a super crazy strong reflected light, but I think that'll be just fine for the scene because it's got some really cool color and texture and all that. But I started to notice that there were some clouds starting to form, and those clouds are going to absolutely kill the reflected light, and with the clouds come wind. So I think this was my opportunity to get this photo. Now I think it's time to pack things up, maybe go for a hike, get to know the area a little bit better, and scout it and see if I can find some other subjects. My guess is that mornings are gonna be my best time to photograph this area, just because that's when the wind is calm, that's when the cloud formation is at its lowest. And midday and afternoons is probably gonna be best for hiking around. So I can get all this packed up and then go for a hike. So I packed up my camera and brought it back to my truck. It was about the same time that a big crowd of people showed up at the trailhead. And this is like weekend crowd size crowd of people. So I figured I should probably get out of there. So I went over this other little side canyon over here just to explore it and see if I can find anything else that sort of grabs my attention. And I'm kind of starting to get a little better feeling for the weather patterns here in Capitol Reef. At least this time of year. It's pretty common for it to be clear in the morning, but once the sun comes up, get a little cloud formation, get some wind. So I think I'm gonna be most productive in the mornings. But now I'm just gonna keep wandering around and see if I can find some other subjects that grab my attention. So I came back to my truck to make some lunch, and yeah, it's snowing right now. Not a lot. It's not gonna stick. It's just a little passing cloud, a little flurry thing going over. But yeah, it's different. I mean, I got snowed on a lot last year, and that actually stuck to the ground. I was able to actually make a photo of it. But this is just a passing little cloud. But yeah, snowing. Well, I spent the rest of the afternoon wandering around and covering a lot of ground to see if I could find any other interesting subjects. And today in a total I found 3 things I wouldn't mind shooting, and all of them are going to be pretty similar conditions I need, which is blue skies, morning, not a lot of wind. And tomorrow there's supposed to be some clouds kind of in the morning, and then Sunday is supposed to be sunny all day. Now the cool thing is that of the 3 subjects, I could shoot probably 2 or all 3 of them in the same day, because it's a matter of the light getting a little bit better from one location to the next. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'll probably go to those areas and see if I can expose some film. I'm pretty worn out, to be honest. I'm pretty tired from wandering around all day today, and it's gonna be nice to get some sleep tonight and see what happens tomorrow. So see you in the morning.
If you enjoy this ad-free content and want to help me live my dream, a voluntary contribution of just $24 a year helps keep my gas tank full and my film freezer stocked. For more information on how to support me and my work, please visit the donation section of my website at benhorn.com/donate. I also have books and prints available on my website. You can find a direct link down below in the show notes. Thanks in advance for your support.